tools, and some of them you might know already, but that should be kind of fun. Oh, I didn't even talk about this. The first thing people usually ask me is like, well, do we have IntelliSense for Visual Studio? Well, yes, for jQuery. Yes, there is. It's kind of, even when I put these slides together, I have a little netbook. Nothing was on it, so I installed all the tools. And out of the box, I still had to go out and install this hotfix, which enables Visual Studio to interpret VSDoc files, which are basically, it's just like a JavaScript file saying what syntax it supports. And so if you want to go up now, you have to have Service Pack 1 for Visual Studio. These slides, they'll be out, and these are actually links if you click to them. You have to have SP1, and then you have to have this SP1 hotfix. And then actually, if you just create a new MVC project, it'll actually have the VSDoc for you, which is really nice. But if you don't, if you're integrating with like an existing website or whatever, jQuery actually hosts the VSDoc files, which is actually kind of cool. But jQuery.com has Visual Studio stuff in it, but and so you can download it from there. And it's really easy to integrate. Actually, just by having a script tag and saying I'm including jQuery, it will automatically find the corresponding VSDoc. So you don't have to actually include that. Let me show you what it looks like. I'm going to be kind of flip-flopping between slides and code. Let's see here. I've got a slew of junk up here. Obviously, you'd want to combine these and then apply them, but I did not. And so you see here, you probably can't see that. I'm just including, jQuery like you would normally, and since I'm including that, it will automatically find the corresponding VSDoc file, which is right there. So it's just sitting there. You don't have to really do anything. And if you have both of those together, then you could actually have some IntelliSense. And so if I were to see that. I guess when I zoomed in, I got rid of them. But you see, these are common methods that you might recognize: add class, Ajax, blah blah blah, and you scroll down. And actually, when you do a $sign, it'll actually list other things. So, anyway, it's pretty cool. I actually haven't started to use it till like 2 days ago. I'm used to doing Notepad or in Firebug or whatever. So, but a lot of people like IntelliSense, and now I have it. So anyway, so let's go back to crap. Hopefully I'm trying something new with Google Docs. Hopefully it's not going to bite us. Okay, so before I knew jQuery, I would write code like this a lot. Maybe not a lot, and it always annoyed me. Like I would do a for loop, and I would do a modular 2 to figure out if I'm odd or even. And then, if it was even, I'd put an alternate class, and if it was odd, I would have no class. So you basically get the, the zebra effect, which is, oh good, the colors show. So you have white, light blue, white, light blue. So this is code, and it will actually output this. But this is nasty. This is logic, and you want, in an MVC, one of the big things in your view, you don't want to have logic. You want it to be really stupid. You basically want to just spit out whatever the view data or the model that you're passing in. So don't do this. But this is the way you would do it if you didn't have another way to do it. And let's show. So here's zebra. I call them scriptlets. Sometimes I call them craplets because I don't really like. Because when I back in ASP land before .NET came out, it was just cluttered everywhere, and I call them craplets. But so anyway, using the modular data, it actually spit out what you want. And I'll show that code again, even though we a little awkward on my netbook. I have to scroll up and down. Zebra. Okay, so this is basically the code I showed you. I'm doing a for loop over my model, which happens to be a pet, and then I'm doing the modular too and spitting out the data. So we have alternating colors. Okay, so a better way to do this is to use jQuery, and so now I can do a for each. I don't have to do a for, because I needed kind of an index so I knew if it was odd or even. So now I don't care about the index. It's a little bit cleaner. I can do a for each. I can do a loop over my model, which happens to be a list of pets. And then I guess I could have called this pet. That would make sense. And so the var keyword actually it knows that it happens to be a pet because it's tightly bound. And then I just have tr. I don't have to say anything special. This might be a review for all of you, but so now we inject some jQuery. And actually, ignore this right now. Can anyone see this? Is it big enough, or do I need to zoom in? Okay. And so all we do to do the alternation is I have a class on the table called stripe me. I don't have to. I could have said table, but anyway, I said tr, which is my row, and colon, and I said for the even ones, it'll actually select all the even ones, and I just say add a class alternate. So my view is still clean, and I'm just in one line of code, I get the zebra stripe. I added this in just for a little flair. I said for every row, I want to bind an event on the mouse over and the mouse out, and I want to toggle an over class. So that gives you a pretty cool. Let's go to zebra. jQuery. Okay, now first of all, this is just a plain table. You know, I didn't do the modular. It's just the raw output. And so what I'm going to do is grab this. Oh, there we go. Copy this code, which is the same one I put in the slide, and I'm going to run it in Firebug. And so automatically you got the. So now you get the hover, which is this line of code. On mouse over, I'm adding the over, which makes it a darker blue, and then on mouse out, it takes it off. This is, and then the second line adds the alternating zebra effect. So pretty classic stuff, but if you didn't know it, then it's usually one of the first things you learn. Okay, so now is anyone familiar with the MVC contrib? Have they used it? Raise your hands. Okay, well not very many. Well, that's good. There's a lot of extra stuff that when MVC was being developed, it was actually pretty rapidly developed, and it was open source, so you could download it in previews and betas and RCs. And I've been following it for a long time, but the MVC contrib is another open source project, and what they try to do is fill the gaps of where maybe Microsoft hasn't developed it yet. And so it's kind of messy because Microsoft keeps adding better features, and then they're redundant for the MVC contrib. So you just kind of have to be a little aware. But there are still some things in the MVC contrib that are nice, like fluent interfaces. I won't really get into that, but if you know what that is, it's pretty cool. And there's a grid attribute, or HTML helper. And so, let's zoom in on this. It's a little blurry, but so basically, this is still going to spit out just a basic table. No glory, just no frills. But I'm going to give it my model, which is a list of pets, and then you actually declare your columns with code. So I want a column for. I'm actually having an ID column, and then I have a name, a description, and a price. So, but it's pretty cool to be able to do that in your code. And then if you want to override what the column is, like it'd be defaulted to name, but if you want to change it, you'd say